using our ninja roll today, and then we'll end up on our feet for the takedown, and we'll flow all the way through. I'd like you guys maybe to be starting in traditional side control, and then moving through your kesa gatames into your reverse kesa gatames, or your hip switch into your backside hip switch. The no-gi, I'll always be cupping the shoulder because this will lead to my arm locks, my spinning arm locks that I really like, and my kimuras. So I don't want this underhook to go away when I switch to the front. You know, make sure the head stays low. We have lots of good attacks here. And then when we switch the base, we're gonna swim inside, replacing one arm with the other, elbow to the armpit, right? So I can really open them up here. And then this is where we'll start attacking. Right now I'm a little high on his chest, so I want to start to control his leg and kind of scoop myself down closer to his midsection. Okay, we've hit this roll a bunch from different perspectives. I think the last couple times we drilled it was probably off like single leg X defenses, maybe that guard pass. But we want to pull the top leg close to us and trap it with our top leg. Yeah, so we pull the top leg close to us and we're going to trap with our top leg. Now we have to have like a little bit of movement. Sometimes when we drill this, we drill from like this static place, and that's when we get stuck. These ninja rolls, they work best like with a little bit of movement, right? So just like a little bit, and that helps me come up. Now I think the key detail is hip on top of hip. So it's like opposite. My top leg controls his top leg, but then my bottom hip goes to his bottom hip. I'm gonna roll on that shoulder, right? Once I start getting into here, my legs do a little scissor action, right? I wanna bring the foot to the floor as I'm kicking the other one, right? That elevates his hips right here. So this one hits the floor first, and then you wanna hit the second one to the floor. Now my feet are kind of glued to the mat. He doesn't have exact entries into leg locks. There is that defense from there, but if my feet are glued to the floor, he has to like lift them up. And by that time, I'm switching my hooks and making my way to the back. Okay? So I try to show slow, but really, like I said, it's the best with a little bit of movement, and then the faster you kind of hit that kick, the easier the finishes, right?
Coach, isn't this the Pretzel Bolo? Or do we ever?
So, yes,
or
sir.
Are we going?
Thank you. So from like, they hit it, we can hit it from like single leg X, Johnny. So same movement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, right? I think.
It's semantics. I started calling ninja roll
but
with
I
the lock.
think we need to get on the same page about that, right? And I think last time we drilled it, we were talking Pretzel Bolo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's call it Pretzel Bolo.
Yeah.
I think because if you do any internet research, the YouTube, if you put in Pretzel Bolo, this will be the move that hits. Because the ninja roll, I think, is the action of the roll, but because of the way my legs are, this is the Pretzel Bolo situation.
Okay.
Right? This is like the Pretzel Bolo.
I always thought it was lower leg versus top leg, but that makes sense. This is the action right here.
The action of it, yeah?
Yeah,
so we're clear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the ninja roll into the Pretzel Bolo. Yeah? And so it's all about the leg, right? And you can kind of start to, say I can like use my left foot on the floor to lift my hip, right? It gives me a little bit of power. Look how high I can lift his hip up. And like as he's coming back down, we're looking for the back control, and then we're looking for our hook. Right, we want that bottom hook first, like always, and then come over the top. You guys get the attack in the back from there if you like. Start here. Little bit of movement. Okay, bring it right in. Be a nice compliant partner. Roll with them so we can get those motions down. One more time. You need to see, are you good, Johnny?
Oh, I think I got it.
Yeah. Boom, boom. Foot to the floor, kick, lift your hip. The bottom hook gets in. We'll call that the twister hook, right?
Yeah.
Because that twister hook tips us into all that twister game. So of course you can play there. I like the idea of scoring by 4 points and getting the back control. Yeah, let's play like this for a little bit, and then we're gonna find a takedown that leads right into it. On 2, people, on 2. 1. They work like for me in live rolls. I hit these moves all the time. And it just like adds to our game, right? Adds to that flow. When we're here, we trap, make sure you're getting that hip on top of the hip, it helps. Kind of the further you roll away, the better. Like if you stay underneath them, it's okay. Like if you have the dexterity, the flexibility. But if you start to get like away from them a little bit, that's nice too. Remember that foot hits the floor, both knees point up, right? I use the foot on the floor to lift my hip. When I lift my hip, I kick my leg down. And that's when I put his hip on top of my hip. And I'm already gonna be looking for the back right here. And when his hip's elevated, then I can switch to that twister hook. Right, and then we can keep scooting the hips out for the back control or the twister longs. Okay, so now to our feet, Johnny. We've been working that Russian drag for, this is week number 3. We're coming to the hand, we're ripping it away, elbow to the center line, shoulder to shoulder. My friend knows I have options from here, so he squares up with me, right? Trying to, if he pushes off my chest or my head, he wants to pull that arm out. Right? So that's defense number 1 for Russian tie. So I'm expecting it. He goes to square up, I go underneath him. Okay? Keep the tight underhook here. Keep this one. I go underneath. Find my high C. From my high C, I'm gonna fold my leg and I'm gonna make my way into my fireman. I'm gonna keep this leg here. Again, I'm going slow-mo, so I might struggle coming over the top, but I'm gonna keep this leg here to have that momentum bring me over the top. And then I land right into the position, right? And I'm coming over, again, foot to the floor, knees point the same way, lift the hip as you kick, find your twister hook, make your way to there, okay? So he goes Russian tie. I don't know if I ever do it this way. I get to my Russian tie, he goes to square up, I'm gonna go underneath. Keep this tight, right? I like the high C. I'm gonna fold the leg to come over the top, and then I use that to bring me all the way over. Okay? Now, you could get into the other one real easy too, but today, Pretzel Bolos, over the top, find the position. Again, Russian tie, top the collar tie, make sure you're coming across the body, getting close to the wrist. Don't take your eyes off your friend when you rip that hand off. Elbow on the center line, shoulder on top of the shoulder. I have the double unders. I'm looking for my control. He starts to square up and come underneath. Use that leg to pull yourself over. And then I'm moving. Right? And then I'm moving. One more time. Try to break it down here. Pieces. Square up. You're good. I go underneath. Make sure you're always kind of leaning forward a little bit, right? I want to lean back, give him that crucifix position. So I keep my elbows in tight, sit to the hip, leaning forward. Use the momentum, pull yourself over the top.
Keep the leg there.
Yeah, keep that. Pull yourself through. Right? And now I replace hand with foot. Pull it out. That gives me that motion I need to make the adjustment. Last time. That flows good. All right. Okay, have some fun. On 2, 1.